Nothing. If we want results, we have to fight. It's no use. It'll fall from the sky. Nothing falls from the sky. Faith is born from the ground. I think we've got things backwards, right? Our prayers should be directed toward the ground all the time, because here, God is a flower. God is like a seed, a forest on the ground. This metaphor that God is in heaven, that's beautiful. But it's here. Look, it's by stepping on this ground that life happens. The strength that God gives me, the strength that God gives you is so that we can plant a garden. No one promised that our life would be a garden of flowers, but God promised the strength for us to plant. I'm here, thank God, full of health. I'm making an effort in this story. I am, but I am a gift from God in me. I make my strength. If you want to pass the entrance exam, study. There's no such thing. The priest prays for me. I won't pray. If you don't study, my prayers are useless at this moment. If you don't study, there's no point in sitting kneeling before the blessed sacrament with a book on your head. Or, sir, can you help me by signing a receipt there? Do your homework first, then you have the right to wait for the gift. That's what we always say. We only have the right to wait for the impossible after we've done everything we can. Now there's another detail. She's saying here, Father, everything is very difficult. Maybe you're paying too much attention to what's difficult, and then everything becomes even more difficult. People, life will always be determined by what we pay attention to. If you have a problem before you, you have two possibilities. Either you see the problem or you see the solution. And there are people who only see the problem, and then it's hard to find the solution because they fix their eyes on the problem, and then they don't have eyes to find the solution. And then it depends on how we interpret life. There are people who love difficulties. There are people who love problems and end up becoming one. A source of problems? Because they are not willing to find solutions? There are people who do not know how to live without a problem. In my book that I'm going to launch, there is an interesting character who is fictionalized in illnesses. She loves having illnesses. Her dream in life is to have a health plan. Her joy is to receive a checkup. That she is precarious? Her joy is to tell about her illnesses. The headache that does not go away is the stone of the visit. There are people who like this. There are people who only pay attention to the bad. But it cannot be like that. This pessimistic spirit only makes us see the negative side of things. For the love of God, you have to be a little more optimistic. You need to pay a little more attention to the things that are good, everything. I received a very interesting email. They say that there were 2 children playing on the ice, and suddenly, the place where one of them was breaking, and she fell and got stuck inside. And the other child, in an urge to save the other one who was inside, almost freezing to death, took off his skates and started breaking them. That other side part, to make room to get his little friend who was inside, and with a lot of effort, that child managed to do it. Miraculously, she found such great strength within herself that she managed to do it. Even though she didn't have enough strength to do it, she managed to break that ice with her skates. And when she arrived, it was the adult, right, who saw the situation. I don't believe it. And other people arrived until one of them was able to break that ice and get the other child who was inside. Then the other guy said, it's because none of us were here to say that we couldn't do it. And it's interesting. When we're faced with a difficult situation, it's very natural that other people, taken by a pig spirit, come and say if we can do it, if it won't work, right? It's not, and there's always someone like that. I didn't say, I don't know, I'm thinking that this thing will work. No, there's always a pig spirit ready to throw out, a destructive phrase that will discourage us. But know that if we don't pay attention to these speeches, we will draw courage from within us in a way we didn't know we had. So, my daughter, sometimes everything is so difficult. No, it's not quite like that. It's just that we look at everything in a difficult way. It's not that everything is difficult. It's that we look at everything in a difficult way. It can't be like that. We're going to be a little more optimistic. Difficulties exist in everyone's life. They are everywhere. Now, the way we face these difficulties is what will make the difference. There are 5,000 people for 5 vacancies. Don't worry, okay? 90% of these 5,000 who are trying for this vacancy didn't study the way you did. If you truly prepare for things, you'll already eliminate a good part of the competition. Because most of them are more or less. Most are living more or less. Most are doing more or less. There are few people who are truly taking life responsibly, the way it needs to be. There are few young people who, in the 1,617 years of life, are taking school seriously. There are few college students who are currently attending college with the discipline that their profession will one day demand. There are few professionals who are truly well prepared to serve us in their law offices, in their dental offices, in their medical offices, because there are few who are truly doing what they should do. I am not being pessimistic. Just look at the way our college students are living, the way they are preparing for their future professions. And I always say, do you want to be a good professional? Study well what you are studying, because you don't have the right to be more or less, do you? My biggest concern as a priest, my people, is the quality of our staff these days. You want a part you know very well. How much are you required to do on a daily basis? Nowadays, you need to be a man of wisdom. You need to be a man who builds a bridge with culture, with society. You can't evangelize the same way they did evangelize 20 years ago. It's not possible. We're going to pursue quality. No one is exempt from this. You, in your field, need to pursue your quality. If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, you know how much you need to improve yourself to stay on your feet in today's world. Today we are in the age of competence, and it's not a problem. This has to motivate us to want it, recognizing that it's the minimum within us. We deserve to take care of this minimum, to arrive, to improve this process more and more, to increase our possibilities more and more. And then, when we come across our fragility, we have to learn from it. It doesn't have to discourage us, but much more than professional quality, it is our human quality. Much more than a good doctor, you need to be a good father first. Be a good son, be a good brother. That is what truly makes happiness come to settle inside you. There is no point in fulfilling yourself in your profession if you do not fulfill yourself as a person. And that is what we are talking about today. It is exactly like that, human improvement. And in the college of life, we learn all the time. There is no teacher to teach us how to be a father, to teach us how to be a brother. It is not by looking into the eyes of those we love that we will discover the right measure, the learning of each day, so that we can be a better human being in today's world. Enough of bad people, enough of people, competent as people. No more murderers, no more thieves, no more liars. Let's give quality to this world, starting with you, no matter how you have lived until today. A word from God for us is, I have always had it. God continues to come. Values less. God continues to believe that your heart can be better. That God continues to believe that there. In this heart often marked by failures, there's a victory here. You can reach it if you do not give up. From the Christian, to God all glory and praise.